Good morning. My name is Owen Pross, your anchor for this week, and welcome to the HPS Upload, where we upload the latest news for you to download. At Heidegger Public School, we challenge all to meet their academic and life goals while inspiring lifelong learning. Please stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And here are today's announcements. For lunch today is corn dogs and baked beans. Elementary boys basketball game on Tuesday versus Bowman. There will be no school on Thursday and Friday. There is a mandatory HPS stream team training today right after school in the big gym. If you cannot make it, you will need to make arrangements with Mr. Janikowski. Science O practice will be held Tuesday after school in Miss Block's room. FFA fruit forms are due tomorrow. Turn into Miss Shower. FFA meeting has been rescheduled to Monday, November 15th at 7 p.m. with chapter officers at 6:30 p.m. Anyone interested in horse judging, there is a sign-up sheet right outside of the egg room. Would the Phylum Junior High students see Miss Shower in the fax room? Following announcements: Blake Larson, Connor Myrick, Brady Berg, Quinn Schlesky, Matthew Tanska, as well as Cade, Sydney, and Jossie. And those are the announcements for today. Now let's look at this week's story by Robert Larson.
This year in Heidegger Public School, we had two new high school teachers, Mr. Janikowski and Mr. Fordall. So naturally, I decided to interview them on what they think of teaching here in Heidegger and their respective subjects. So how are you liking your first few months teaching here at Heidegger?
Yeah, honestly, very, 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 very excited to do it. And I was a little nervous at first to do it because I didn't know whether that was going to be something I really enjoyed or just a fun little thing, but it's the best job I've ever had. And I've had a lot of jobs, and it's my most favorite job I've ever had. I really, really enjoy it.
What do you like about teaching those subjects?
For me, it's kind of a blanket situation where I'm a guy who loves anything creative. If it's creative and on a computer, I'm all in, whether it's, graphic design, videography, photography, music stuff. All of that together, it just lights my brain on fire. So it's the creative aspect of those mediums. I look at videography, video production, and graphic design as just a tool, as a way to be creative. That's how I see it. So that's what I enjoy about both of them, that they are so creative based.
What do you think is most important for people to learn when it comes to technology?
I think the biggest thing is patience and a willingness to either grind it out to figure out what the problem is to solve it, or also understanding that it may not work instantaneously. To be in a learning mindset. If you approach it as I'm excited to learn or interested in learning how to make X, Y, and Z work, you'll have a better experience. If you look at it as it should just work, you will be pleasantly and aggressively disappointed often, because in technology, not a lot of it works. But if you look at it as a learning situation, it's fantastic. It's patience and a willingness to learn.
So what is it like being a new teacher?
Being a new teacher can be somewhat frantic, okay? Because there's so many new things that you must learn. Management of classrooms, managing your own time more effectively, plowing through new material that maybe you haven't covered in 20 years. It does get to be a little frantic at times, just staying on top of everything that you must stay on top of.
What do you think of Heidegger Public School?
So Heidegger Public School for me is very comfortable, because obviously I went to Heidegger Public, albeit I graduated in 1995. But everything aside from the technology that we have here, everything else is pretty familiar. So as far as the school itself, I feel very comfortable.
What led you to becoming a teacher?
I took a very indirect path. I got my business degree from Oklahoma State, and then I came back and actually farmed for a number of years. And it wasn't until I decided that I made the life choice to stop farming. At that point, I became a para, which most of you know from last year, and actually just being back in the school system kind of inspired me to want to think about wanting to become a teacher. And then when I was approached at the beginning of this year to do so, yeah, I took the opportunity. And granted, I only teach 3 classes throughout the day, so it's not that I have a full load, which actually is, I would recommend for anybody to go about it that way, so that you can understand what you're going to be responsible for, and how to organize your day. So I do enjoy the fact that I do not have a full schedule, and I can, and it also allows me to be a para on the side too, which is very rewarding, and I enjoy a lot. So.
Big thank you to Mr. Janikowski and Mr. Fordle for letting me interview them.
Now we are going to sports last week with Tyler Lawfer. How do you think they did last week?
I think they did pretty good. So now let's look at the scores. Hawks vs. Bowman, C Squad 0-3, JV 2-1, Varsity 2-3. Great job. Hawks vs. Richardson, C Squad got 3-0, JV got 3-0, Varsity got 3-0. That was an amazing job there. Good job, Nighthawks. Now let's go to highlights. Bailey Pierce with a beautiful kill, a bump and a spike. Bailey Pierce with another kill. There's her spike again. Bailey Pierce with her serve. Beautiful jump serve. Chloe Goldmont with her serve. Bailey Pierce with her serve. Getting an ace. Good job. And finally, Ella Jensen with her serve. Good job, Nighthawks.
Thank you, Tyler. Now let's go to weather with Robert Larson. Thank you, Robert, for that weather report. We also like to thank Casey Kinsvater, our streamer, for helping us make today's broadcast possible. And that's our news broadcast. Thanks for tuning into the HPS Upload, where we upload the latest news for you and downloadable content for you to enjoy. To stay up to date to our weekly school news, local sporting events, and community streams, be sure to ding that bell and knock out that like button to consume mass quantities of news. We will see you next week, Monday at 9.